So Pak Warsito and kawan-kawan lain di Indonesia, people, I'm a scientist, and we as a scientist, we only talk from the data, what we see, and what we can do with the data. But many times as a scientist, we forgot that there is a agenda maybe behind us that we cannot see, we don't see. And your message is you want us to see that other threat, yeah. Because if we make mistake, we mistake about this, there is no point of return. Kira-kira gitu Pak Warsito pesannya. Jadi dari sisi
Terima kasih Pak.
ya sains, tapi dari sisi memang bukan bidangnya Pak Warsito ya, tapi kita harus perhatikan itu Pak.
Ya.
Kita harus perhatikan itu. Now, myself have a questions Pak. Usually in the research, we go in vitro. Yeah, we go in vitro, like for example, during coronavirus, when we make a research, actually I discover something that can help with the coronavirus in 3 days, but I have to do in vitro, and when I do in vivo, I have to do with animals, not to the human being. Now, this mosquito, I think you do the vitro in the lab, but then if you release that in the population, it is in vivo, and you have to go to phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. My question is, did you follow that agenda? Even I know that you follow the guideline of WHO, the VCAG, but do you have to do that step of in vitro, in vivo, step 1, phase 2, phase 3, clinical trial? Because we cannot predict this, Pak. Gimana, Pak?
Yeah, we follow this kind of the research, protocol. So the first, we are on the first phase 1, talking about in the laboratory. So we increasing the capacity. So we also preparing the community. Also, we dealing with regulation, and then the most important actually talking with research assessment. And the second is actually the phase 2 we did in the small scale of the release. So we release in the very isolated 4 hamlet, and then we check it quite fully what happened in there, including the community perspective. And then after that, we release in the slightly bigger. So in Jakarta, we divide it in the 2 area, and we release in the 7 kelurahan. And then this is in the quasi study. So we comparing between one area with the Wolbachia, and then another area with the control. But then we are doing like a clinical study. We call this the randomized control trial, which is in the city of Jakarta. So it's really trigger. This is monitored by the independent of the panel, and that a lot of actually the people involved in this kind of the study. So the until now is actually in the study already. So we followed from the very small in the laboratory in vitro to the bigger. This is 12 years. So this is 12 years research that we done in Jakarta.
Okay, thank you. But the situation is like this, but I know you did this before the coronavirus, right? So you do that. But we realized during the coronavirus, there is an obligation that people have to be vaccinated. And after that, we see, after 2 years later, we see the side effect. In the time, the government, many governments say it's obligation. For example, like my family live in Italy, my wife works there, and my children go there. They cannot go to school if they are not vaccinated. It's an obligation. But 2 years later, the government or the government of Canada and so on, they ask apology because there is a lot of side effect about that. So maybe your research is good with genuine intention, but the atmosphere in the time, the people have trust issue, this kind of thing. I hope our program is not sabotage. And I know it's not the capacity of Pak Warsito to answer this because he's the scientist, but it is our to the. But we are lucky because in this program, the Minister of Health itself monitoring this, and also we have the special staff from the president. So it's become must be a political decision. It's not an issue of scientific decision, but the situation that all over the world, people have distrust about this because it is another kind of like a vaccination, in another way. More or less, I see like that. Am I wrong, Ole?